Hello everyone, my name is Theodor Simchev and I'm architect at VMware Professional Services Center of Excellence. Today I would like to demo you some of the features that Infrastructure as Code for Real-Life suite has. It's important to say that this is not a VMware product, it's just some community effort inside VMware to build tools and some practices for developers working on vRealize automation and vRealize orchestrator. So let me jump straight to the demo. So this is my console. Let me open Visual Studio Code. And here you can see that I have already installed my plugin for Visual Studio Code. So let me create my new Vro project. So there are different type of projects, pure JavaScript, XML, mixed pure VRA projects. I'm gonna use the one that combines all of them together. First, I need to define the group ID, worker.corp.cloud. And I need to define the name of my artifact. So that's demo. And I need to choose local corp cloud. I need to choose a directory under the workflows, whether my workflows will reside. It's a good naming convention as well. I need to select a place where I want my project to start. And on the bottom right, you can see that the plugin generates a project from this configuration and opens a new window for me. So one of the main points, actually one of the main files inside the project is a POM file because it's a Maven project. So here you can see that this is the group ID that we have entered, the artifact ID, and the initial version 100-snapshot refers to that this is a development copy, and this project has 3 modules: VRA, Vro Workflows, and Vro Actions. As I already mentioned, I have prepared some cheat sheet for me just to speed up a development process. So under the Vro, under the actions, under the source, main, local, so you can see a local corp cloud demo. There is a JavaScript file. This file represents an action named sample. So this is automatically generated for me. And let me change the content in the name of this action to something that's more relevant. Get services data.js. So this is a simple action that just returns some mocked data, like from the REST host. It's some organization and their locations. So the code that you see inside the snippet, this code is actually what you're gonna see inside the Vro action. This metadata here is something that you're going to see under return type or description of the action or description of the input parameters. And this closure, we're adding it just in sense to be able to treat this code as a pure JavaScript, execute unit tests, and run static code analysis. So let me create my second action, get services as list. So here I'm creating new file, get services as list. The idea of this action is basically to get the data. This is a service data of type any. That means that this can be called only from inside in action. And this returns an array of string that basically maps each one key of my data, for example, finance with the town, and make it uppercase. So this will be easy for user to select exactly what service he would like to use. Then I'm having a test. So there is automatically generated unit test based on Jasmine here. So let me rename this test to something relevant to me. Get services as list test. So services as list has a lot of logic at the moment, and I can do a lot of mistakes here. So I'd like to have a unit test that validates my approach. So I have already prepared my unit test here. And Let me paste it. So what the unit test says is convert raw service data. So this is just in description. Here I'm having a module. So the module, I manage it, not services, but demo this time. So it's a demo and it's a get services as list. So I'm referring to my module. Inside the code, I have some dummy data, and I'm expecting when I call a list with this JSON to be equal to a list of capital cases key dash value. So let me use do some mistake. So this is a mistake in the code using a small letter, or it could be a mistake inside the code here. And let me run my unit tests. So right now I'm executing a Maven that will automatically compile my code and run my unit test against this code. So you can see here that my test has failed. And the third argument expected to be K2 capital J1, but it's K2 small case J1. So if I fix my test here to something big, something capital case, and I run it, I should be able, need to scroll a little bit, I should be able to see that my tests are passing and everything is fine. Okay, so far so good. So I'm ready to push this package into my Vro server. So first thing that I need to do, I need to connect. So on the bottom left corner, there is a server. So I need to choose my Vro server. And I'm triggering some data collection that will automatically fetch the inventory of my Vro in terms of content inventory actions, configuration elements, etc. into my Vro. So right now, if I wanna see some system action or action from another package, I can say Vro open action. Let's use some famous action, vim3 wait task to end. This is a vSphere action. Its version is 0.3.1. If I select that one, the engine automatically fetch it. And you can see that it converts this system Vro action into something that is a pure JavaScript, colorful, nice. I'm not allowed to edit it because you can see that it's a read-only, it's a system action. In order to edit, I need to clone it, similar to like in Vro. So let me push my changes to Vro. So I'm using Vro plugin and I'm looking for push Vro actions. So I'm pushing this action straight to my Vro server, and in a few seconds, my package will be built. This will be the package that's produced out of this JavaScript code, and you should be able to see this package inside Vro. So if I go here under the packages and I scroll down, you'll see that this is the action package, and the actions will refresh. So if I select the get services list, you can see that there is a description of the data, there is a description of the action, and this is the code that we have. So let me do another code here. So I would like to add a new file, and this is get x as a service services.js. So that means that's going to be a UI action. And I can use some help from the snippets. I would like to create Vro function. So this is the function. First, let me fetch again what I have inside Vro. So I would like this function to not have any input parameters. So I would like that one to have only returns, and it should return array of, it should return array of string, return services list. So I don't want any input parameter. What I want is data. So I can use system.get module. So you have this IntelliSense inside Vro as well, but what you don't have is that option here. Whenever I open the quotes, I can navigate under local, corp, cloud, demo, and here I could see my services list. So you can see on the right, I see exactly the version of my package and my action. Because of the actions part of this package will increment automatically every time, and I can see that it accepts data, and I have a services data that accepts nothing. So it will give me just the data. So, and I would like to return system.get module. And here we have again local.corp.cloud.demo. And I would like to call services list and pass the data. So it's a really nice, really development friendly approach. So I would like to run again the task and push my Vro actions to the server. So in a few seconds, you're going to see that I'm having my actions as part of the package inside Vro, and I'll be able actually to use these actions right away. So let me do something else. So right now I don't have any workflows, and that's because I haven't built my workflow. So first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to execute a clean install on my actions. So this will create a dependency. We'll create a package artifact under Maven, which means that under workflows, I'm referring through dependency, Maven dependencies construct. This is my workflows package. I'm referring to my action package as a dependency. So after I build my actions package, I'm right now able to push my Vro package as well. So it's a separate package because we treat the code and the configuration separately. So I would like to push my Vro workflows. If you remember in the very beginning, I mentioned that we're having workflows and it automatically generates an installation workflow. So this is my installation workflow under SXML. So the tree should be refreshed any second. Yep, it's here. It's a corp, it's a local, it's a demo. And this is the automatically generated workflow. So let me create a new workflow, which is define a relation. I would like to define a relation to a service. So I would like to have service input parameter and some description. And here under presentation, I would like this to be a predefined answer and to call get X as a service here. And I'm saving that one. I'm continue increasing the version. So right now I have created my workflow. So let me go right now to my VRA. And I would like to create a new X as a service out of this action. So under local core cloud demo, define a relation. I'm going to use out of the box fields just in interest of time for the demo. So I'm going to publish that one in order to be able to use it as part of the blueprint. So I create a new blueprint, let's say Postgres. This is my database. I'm going to base this blueprint on a vSphere virtual machine at the moment. Let's add some 40 gigs here and add a new partition with 40 gigs just to satisfy the minimal requirements. And I would like to add my service definition. My service definition here. And just to make it a little bit more interesting and complete, I'm gonna add a custom form as well. So just gonna drag and drop 2 fields in the area. So it's a text area and password. So we could decide to delete that one. And let's say we could add an image and I'm finishing that one. And I'm publishing this. So I have my Postgres service ready. I'm going back to my Visual Studio Code. So for Vro, we develop actions inside the Visual Studio Code for workflows, and basically VRA content we develop inside vArray and Vro, and we pull back to this project. So here I'm having a content.yaml, and I have a composite blueprint where I'm gonna say Postgres, and I'm gonna execute Vro pull vArray content. So right now I'm calling vArray and automatically creating a package on the fly and, under the content management with the exact version and name that I'm using here. So you can see that this is the package, and you can see that it appeared a folder of composite blueprint Postgre, cluster 1.1, let's say. There is a custom file for the Postgre, which is a text area and basically the image, and there is my X the service blueprint. So far, I'm ready to do something. So first, let me enter to my demo. So you can see all the content here, and what I want to do is git clean, not git clean, Maven clean. So this is just to clean up the repository for everything that shouldn't be part of my source control. And you can see that I'm having a vArray and a Vro here as well. So my next step will be to do git init. So I'm initializing the repository, and git add, I'm adding some files, and git, you can do it from here, or you could do it, basically you could do it from here. Git commit, what's the commit message, init. And now my Git repository is ready. My next natural step will be to go to the demo here, and I would like to create a new repository called demo. I already have an existing code. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to specify a remote server, and I just going to push my local changes to the remote server. Then this is the new branch under master. If I refresh, you can see my code is available here. So the next step for me will be to create a Bamboo plan to automatically build and produce something out of my code. So I'm cloning the plan. I would like to clone underscore vRay templates. I would like to use the demo project, and this is my demo, and I'm creating the build. Then I need to configure this build to use the appropriate repository. So this is my demo. I'm using, this is a demo, and I'm saving this repository here. So right now I'm ready to run my plan. And in a few seconds, you're going to see what this plan will generate. So I have prepared several configurations inside the plan to do exactly what it does. So meanwhile, what I forgot to do is actually to define a relationship under my package. So let me add this workflow under the package and pull it as well. So under the workflows, I like to edit the package, and I would like to say, please define, this is relation, select it. I want to save it. And I want to go to my vRay, Visual Studio, and I'll go to pull my Vro workflows. So I'm executing a pull right now. While we're waiting for the pull, let me jump here. So we have a test. There is only one test in the total. So the test is get services as list. If I open that one, you can see exactly the test, the action, and that it's successful. Under the artifacts, I'm having a workflows, zip, actions. I can have many different artifacts. The most important one is the vRay zip. And if I open the vRay zip, so those are some of my previous experiments here. you have a VRA folder that contains the VRA package. You have the Vro folder that contains the workflow and the actions package, and you have a bin folder that contains an installer for Windows, Linux, and Mac. So you can use this bundle to automatically install the content to the target system. So right now, if I select here, let me see what happened. So I'm having a few elements. One is the relation, define a relation, and I have an installation workflow as well. So there are some changes because I edited some of the workflows. And this is the define a relation. This is the initial content. Okay. So next, what I have to do is basically, so those are the changes. I'm ready to push them, but let's do one more thing here. I would like to change something under Postgres. I would like to change the max cluster size to 20. So when I change it from here, I'm actually allowed to push my VRA. So it was min 1, min max 1, but when I push it right now, this should affect basically my VRA content and will modify the blueprint inside VRA. So again, the pull and push operations are bidirectional. And if I go to my VRA and I'm selecting the Postgres, I should be able to see that the machine is not single at the moment, but it's actually a cluster of many machines and exactly 20 machines. So the final thing from my side is that what I have to do right now is change mod plus x release.sh. So I'm having a specific script for the release.sh, and let me git stash. I would like to stash everything I have in the master, and git create feature automated release. So typically those kind of changes has to be two separate commits to separate branches, but again, in the interest of time, I'm using only one branch at the moment. Now applying all the changes. Commit-m automated release git push. So the branch doesn't exist in the server. It forced me to push it in a forced way. So if I go to my source control right now, if I go to pull requests, I want to create a new pull request to my teammates. This is automated release branch. This is the difference that I made in the Postgre. So this is a completely new file, and on the release.sh, I added a plus X. So you can see here the attribute. I'm continue. Typically, I'm adding my colleagues as reviewers. And I need to have successful build, successful sonar, etc., and successful review. But right now, I haven't configured those again for the demo. And I'm basically done. So right now, my build is queuing, and I have committed inside master my changes. So what you can see here actually at the moment under source control is that I'm having only master. I don't have any tags. And under the POM, I have my version snapshot, which that means this is still development copy. So what I have to do is to change the master and basically get the latest changes from the master. So right now I'm ready to release. So what release means, I forgot one more important thing. So the release will fail because I need to specify basically my repository here. So what I have to do, I have to clone it, and we'll refer one more time to this special branch here. I need to specify what is the remote repository for me. And this is SCM git. So it's really important because this is how the release.sh will know where to push the latest changes. So again, git add git commit -m add scm string git push. And again, I need to have a pull request in order to be able to merge my changes. Creating a pull request. This is the diff, scm, git, ssh, etc. I'm merging that one. And I'm going back to my console, git c master. So you can see that everything I'm doing is pretty developer friendly. So let me release this time. I hope this time everything will be fine. So the script will take a few seconds. So you can see here that it's updating the actions and updating the version to a particular version. And it's unpacking, running the test, doing all kind of stuff on the machine. Typically, release SH is run by the CI/CD system. And in this CI/CD system, only specific branch, for example, will be able to merge. So right now, if I go to my source control and I'm selecting the source, you can see that I have my master, but under the tags, I have version 1.0.0 created for me. And if I select that one, I can see the code referring to that version. So if I open the project object model file, it's going to be 1.0.0. But if I go to the latest code here under the master, and if I open, you can see that the script automatically incremented to 1.0.1 and appended snapshot. Okay, that was everything I wanted to show. I hope you enjoy. And if you'd like to have the same experience as like we do in Professional Services Center of Excellence, just contact us on our email address, email alias, and we're gonna help you to get into this journey. Thank you.